Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another video on Salesforce Org. Guys, this video is going to be a crash course on Data Cloud, where I'm going to guide you with step-by-step processes, functionalities, which are needed to get your environment into Data Cloud and merge data from different sources. So if you're new to Data Cloud and you want to understand it from the scratch, then this video could be for you, where I'm going to explain the process step by step. Okay. So I believe the best way to learn something is by doing it. So that's what we are going to do today. So in this video, I'm having a live example, which is going to give us the overall perspective of how Data Cloud is going to work in real life with a real-time scenario. So I'll quickly start with it. This is going to be the index for today's video. We'll start with the overview not about Data Cloud. It is going to moreover about the project that we are going to build with this video. Okay. Then it is going to be followed by the data flow diagram, data schema, data cloud introduction, data stream, data lake objects, data model object, data ingestion, identity resolution, unified profiles, how you can use data cloud data in Salesforce, data cloud related list. And at the end, I'm having a giveaway as well. So there will be a specific task that you need to perform to be eligible for that giveaway, which I'll be sharing at the end of the video. So make sure to stay in this video till the end. Okay, so this is the overview which I have prepared for this specific crash course. So the challenge is Swift Rental, which is a fictitious company that provides 2- and 4-wheeler rentals, has all of its customer data in a private server. And they recently has acquired Adventure Cloud, a company whose data lives on a separate Salesforce server. Now, the problem here is this data is in separate silos because Swift is having its own private server and Adventure Cloud is also having its own server. Now, after the acquisition, it is very, very important to see the collective data from these two environments, right? So for them right now, it is impossible to easily see that a customer who rents a car from Swift might also be interested in a hiking trip from Adventure Cloud. So now the solution, what we are trying to implement here would be using Data Cloud. So Data Cloud is the answer for this challenge. Think of it as a central brain that connects all of your data sources. It takes scattered information and unifies it into a single comprehensive view. So Data Cloud is going to ingest the data from Swift server, ingest data from Adventure Cloud server, and unify all the data to create a single complete custom profile. So that's how Data Cloud is going to work. This is going to be the data flow diagram that I have prepared for this demo. So it starts with the private server, which is owned by Swift Rental. Then in the center, you can see Data Cloud is here. And then there's a Salesforce server owned by Adventure Cloud, which is again a Swift company now. So for Swift, they are having customers and vehicle booking, where they are going to book vehicles, 2-wheelers and 4-wheeler by taking customer details, and it is having a master detail relationship. For Adventure Cloud, they are having contacts and adventure booking. So basically, they are storing their users, customer as contact in Salesforce. And they're having a custom object called adventure booking, which is again having a master detail relationship between contact and adventure booking. And using adventure booking, they are booking different adventure experiences for their users. Now, as a solution, we are going to implement Data Cloud in between, which is going to be a comprehensive view of both of these servers. So we will be linking our customer with the individual data model object and contacts from Salesforce also in the same object to create a unified profile. And we'll be moving vehicle bookings to the vehicle booking data model object. And we are going to create a master detail relationship in between them as well, because one individual may own multiple vehicle bookings, and on the same manner, one individual may own multiple adventure bookings as well. Okay, so that's how the data diagram is going to be. Now, this is a schema that I have created. So on the private server, which is a different Salesforce environment right now, because I was not having any other private server credentials, so I have used another Salesforce environment. So in the private server, if you can see, there's a customer custom object, which is having few details like driving license, email, first name, last name, phone number. And there's vehicle booking custom object, which is having details like customer lookup, start date, end date, vehicle name, vehicle number, and vehicle type. And in Salesforce, which is basically the Adventure Cloud company, so they're using contact and they're using adventure booking or custom object. So contact is a standard object. It is having all the standard fields. I haven't created any custom fields so far. And in adventure booking, we are having adventure number, amount, a lookup of contact, start date, end date, and name of the adventure. So that's how it is going to be. Now, before jumping into the demo, before showing you how things are going to work here, let me just give you a basic definition of data cloud. And there are a few other basic terms that I want you to know before we start the demo. So data cloud is a centralized platform that connects and unify data from multiple disconnected sources and breaks the silos, as I already explained in the previous data diagram. You can consider it like a puzzle table if you have been into puzzles, if you have ever seen it. So consider it like a puzzle table where it's a special space where you can have all the pieces from both puzzle boxes, no matter what they are or where they came from. Data Cloud sort them out and puts the pieces from both puzzles together to show you one big complete picture. So in our scenario where we are having Ride Swift Rentals and Adventure Cloud, the puzzle pieces are all the customer details. For example, their name, phone number, what car they want or what two-wheeler they want from Ride Swift Rentals, and what adventure they booked with Adventure Cloud. So these are two different puzzle pieces now. Now the separate boxes are Ride Swift private server and Adventure Cloud Salesforce server. The data cloud is the magic table, which is going to bring all these pieces together on one table. Once all the data is on this table, RideSwift can see everything about a single person, like that a customer who just rented a car is also interested in rock climbing. This allows them to offer a personalized deal. For example, they can offer rent a car and get 20% off on your next adventure. This would be impossible if the data were still stuck in separate places as silos, because in that case, they have to keep track of data into different environments, which is possible in a way, but is not a recommended way. And again, it is a time-consuming way as well. So in short, a data cloud is a central hub that collects and organizes information from many different sources, turning scattered data into one useful view. Okay, so that was a definition of data cloud. Now in data cloud, there are a few other things that I want you to know before we jump into the demo, because I'll be using these things in the demo. Okay, so we'll start with the data stream. So that is going to be the first step that we are going to have in data cloud configuration after the data cloud activation. So data stream is a continuous flow of data generated in real time or near real time from sources, for example, sensors, or it could be any other application, or based on user interaction, which is processed and analyzed as it arrives. The key points to notice in data streams are it is often used in real time or near real time analytics. Common in use cases like, for example, if there is a financial transaction or a click stream analysis, we can use these kind of things with data streams. An example could be a fitness app sending live heart rate data from a wearable device to the cloud is a data stream. So data stream is a way to transfer the data in the way it is right now. That means in an unstructured manner. So in Salesforce Data Cloud as well, we'll be creating data stream to transfer data from one environment to Data Cloud, from the Redshift environment to the Data Cloud. The next is data lake object. A data lake object refers to a unit of data stored in a data lake, which is a centralized repository that holds raw data in its actual format until it is needed. So data lake objects can be structured, semi-structured, or completely unstructured as well. And it enables basically scalable storage and flexible access for analytics and machine learning purpose as well. Next is data model object. Okay, data model object is, I would say, opposite of what we have in data lake. So data lake is having unstructured data, but a data model will represent a structured view of data, defining how data elements relate to each other, relationship between them, which is going to help us in organizing or analyzing the data effectively. Key points here to notice is it is built using a schema, table, relationship. As I told you, it is going to be in a structured manner. And it is going to help us in data governance, reporting, or semantic modeling of data. Okay, so that's how data model is going to work. Okay, now it's time to move to the demo. So I'll quickly move to the demo and then I'll come back to this data ingestion slide and I'll explain what data ingestion actually means. Okay. So as you can see here, I'm having two different environments. One is for Redshift rental, where I'm having my Redshift rental application, where I do have customers, vehicles, and there's a report. Then this is the other environment, which is Go Adventure. Okay. And for Go Adventure, if you'll see, we are having contacts, which is being used for customers. We have adventure booking. Let me move to all quickly. Okay, awesome. Which are having list of adventures like mountain biking, skydiving, rock climbing, etc., etc. Okay, so these are my two different environments. And this is going to be the environment where I'll be accessing Data Cloud and will be getting data from Redshift rental as well. Okay. So for the first step, you just need to go to the Data Cloud setup. Okay, and here you will be able to see the Get Started option if you have created a new environment. So that step is a time-consuming step, and just to save the time for the video, I have already completed it. It is just a button that you need to click to set up the Data Cloud for the first time in your environment. So for this environment, it is already done. Okay. Now what we are going to do is, and also if you are going to use any of the developer environment provided by Salesforce, it is already going to have all the permission sets needed to access the functionality, whatever you have in Data Cloud. Now, the next step going forward is going to be data ingestion, where we are going to get data from multiple sources. Quickly moving to the slide again. So data ingestion basically is a process of collecting and importing data from various sources. In our example, we are going to collect data from Redshift rentals and Go Adventure, and then we are going to put it in a centralized location. So that is going to be the first step in building a data pipeline. Data can come from database, files, APIs, or any other specific device. Ingestion can be batch-based, that I'm going to show you in this video, and it can be real-time as well. Real-time streaming is also doable. And the goal here is to make data available and usable for analytics, reporting, machine learning, and other business needs. So in Data Cloud, you can do data ingestion to fetch data from different sources and put it in a collective, comprehensive source. Okay. So I'm going to go back on my environment and I'm going to open the Data Cloud application. But before that, we have to connect this environment as well, right? So what we can do is in the Data Cloud setup, you can see there's connect other data source option. So I'll click on this. Okay, so this is my default connection for Go Adventure or Adventure Cloud. the current environment, but I need to connect my right Swift rental as well. So I'll hit new, connect to Salesforce environment. Next. Now this is a name of the Salesforce instance alias that you're going to connect. So whatever name you're going to put here, that will be visible on your data stream name and API names as well. Okay. So for right Swift, let's say I'm putting RR, or let's say RSR, right Swift rentals. Okay. And I think, yeah, this should be fine. Let me hit proceed. Okay, now I need to log in. This is my username. Okay, I have logged in the environment. And here you see I'm in the environment. The connection name is based on the company that you have selected while signing up for the environment. Okay, so nothing to do with the demo. Now both environments are connected with each other. Now what we can do is we can simply go to the data cloud. Okay, now here we are going to create a data stream first. So we'll be creating a data stream to get contacts from this Go Adventure environment and customer and vehicle booking from Right Swift Rental. So that's how we are going to ingest data from these multiple sources. Okay. So what we are going to do here, we'll create a new data stream here. Salesforce CRM. Select the environment. So I'll select Go Adventure first. Okay, so from this Go Adventure, we will just need contact. So we can select contact here. Hit next. Okay. Now for the environment where you're already having your default cloud instance, it is going to have this underscore home there. So for all the data stream or other objects created for this environment, it's going to have this underscore home there. Okay. Now we need to select a category for that object. As it is a contact, I will be selecting profile here. If it is any kind of an engagement, for example, adventure booking is an engagement, vehicle booking is an engagement, we can select engagement. And if it is not fitting in these two options, it will go to other. So for contact, I'll do profile. Okay, all the fields are there. Okay, we'll have the default configuration here and hit deploy. Okay, we'll give it a minute here. Sometimes it may take time based on your internet connectivity, what you're having. Okay, it's done. Now we are going to create data stream for the other objects, which are basically coming from Right Swift rentals. I'll select object. So there were two objects. You can select both of them together. So one was customer and the other one was vehicle booking. Okay, I have selected both objects. Next. Okay, for customer, again, the category is going to be profile. And for vehicle booking, it would be engagement here. And with engagement, you need to mention the event time field as well. So let's say start date, in my case. I'll hit next. Keep the default settings, deploy. Okay, so these two data streams are also processing. This one is processed already. Let me quickly refresh it once. Okay, the last one is pending. And we need to trigger these as well. So I'll do refresh now. Okay, now this is going to run these jobs, and it is going to fetch data from right shift rental environment. And of course, for contact, it is going to be the Go Adventure or Adventure Cloud environment. So for right shift rentals, you will notice the alias is there with underscore RSR. Okay. So as we created the data streams here, the data lake objects are already there for these three data streams. So you can use data lake objects to map the fields with the environment with your custom object, or if it does not exist, you can create one, or you can map it with your standard objects as well. So this data ingestion, I believe it is going to take some time. Let me quickly open it and check. Okay, it is still pending. You can simply refresh it from here as well. The same step that I did outside of this page, you can do it from here. And there are a couple of other things. You can check the refresh history. If you want to check other details, you can do that. And right now you can see the frequency is batch here, and you can set it to auto refresh as well to refresh it automatically. What we did here is a manual refresh. Okay. So that is something you can manage. Okay, as you can see on my screen, contact home and vehicle booking from right shift rentals has been ingested successfully. For contact, we are having 20 records. For vehicle booking, we are having 21 records. And customers are still being ingested, but as these two are done, we can start with the data lake objects. Okay, this is also done. There are 11 records here. Okay, so we'll go to data lake object for the data mapping now. First, we'll start with the contact home mapping, which is the standard object in the system right now. All right, so here's the standard object here. We'll hit the start button. Okay, now here we will be mapping the contact standard object with individual object in Salesforce. Okay, so what we are going to do is first we need to select objects from here. Okay, now here we are going to select objects that we need to map with the contact object. So to map it, we'll be having contact point email, contact point phone. We can have contact point address as well. And let's map it to individual object as well. Individual is here, and we'll hit done. Okay, now you can see the default mapping is here, which has mapped a lot of fields already. But the fields, what we need is contact's basic details and IDs that needs to be mapped correctly, right? So we'll keep the default mapping, and we'll see if the mapping that we really want to do that, if we have to override any of the default mapping. So I'll start with first name. First name is mapped with individual first name, which is fine. Last name is mapped with individual last name, which is also fine. Then we can look for email. Email is not mapped with anything, so we can map email with contact point email. We can search email here on the right side as well. Contact point email. Here it is, contact point email. Okay. So we'll click here, map it with here. Okay. Now it is mapped with the contact point email. We need to search for phone as well. I think it was mobile, maybe. And here also we can search for, okay, mobile is not there. Let's say phone, primary contact phone. Here it is in contact point address, and in contact point phone, here it is contact point phone ID, primary country code, phone type, telephone number. Let's map it with a telephone number. Okay. So phone here is also, we have mapped first name, last name, email, phone. What else we need? Do we need address? I'm not sure if we are taking address. I think we can skip it. Let's skip the address. Otherwise, it is going to be the similar mapping with the contact point address object. Let's see actually if we are really using addresses. So if I'll go here in customer, okay, I think I am not capturing address. Yeah. Yeah, so we can skip that part actually. And from here as well, you don't have to map it with contact point address now. Now we'll search for ID, which is basically contact ID, the primary key. This is very, very important to map all these entities together. So the contact ID, we need to map it with contact point address ID, which is not needed because we don't have address, but anyways, let's map it. Let's assume we are having some address also, okay? So contact ID will go with contact point address ID. Contact point email ID also. So we are basically mapping the primary keys here, okay? You have unsafe mapping. Why it is giving me an error? What is this mapping? Let me remove it. And the individual ID is already mapped. I think I can remove that as well. Okay. So contact ID. You have unsaved mapping. Okay, let's try to save it first. Okay, but I'm trying to map. It is not allowing me to map here. Let's try it again. Contact point email. It is not allowing me to map actually. Okay, it allowed me to match contact point phone ID. Now, individual ID as well. So we have mapped it with contact point address, phone, email is still missing. So let's try now. It could be because it is already mapped, maybe. Let's see, let's try to save it first. And when I say already mapped, that means because of the default mapping that we had, there may be scenarios that a field is already mapped with a field linked to your object, okay? Okay, it is refreshed now. We'll search for ID. Yeah, as you can see, the contact point email ID is already mapped with email. Why it is mapped with email? We don't need it actually. I think we did it in the last step. Okay, that was a wrong thing to do. Primary key has to be mapped. So what we are going to do is Contact point email is here, which is mapped with email, and we are not able to delete it. So let's try to map it with this contact point email. Okay, replace mapping, save. Switch mapping is not available in the development org. That's a problem now. Now we cannot delete it because it's a primary field. Oh, we can do one thing. I think if we delete this contact point email, that is another learning. Once you have mapped it in your developer edition, you won't be able to remove it or replace it. Okay. So now it's time to add contact point mapping again, contact point email. I was not expecting that to come in the video, but anyways. Okay, contact point email, include, hit done. Now we'll search for ID. Let me see if it is mapped with anything. Contact point email is not mapped now. So what we are going to do is map contact ID with contact point email ID, the primary key. Okay, and the email is unmapped now, so we'll match email with email address here. Okay, so last time I believe we mapped it with the contact point email ID. We should have mapped it with email address. So now it is mapped with email address. Now we have mapped the contact ID with these primary keys, but we need to map it with party as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select contact ID here, contact point address, party, contact point email party, and contact point phone party. Okay, you don't have to map it with individual's party because it is considered as an individual entity. So this looks good to me. Now let's see how the overall mapping is looking. Okay, so this is the overall mapping. We don't need these many fields actually. In your example, just to keep it simple, you can remove all the additional fields if not needed. While you're trying it, you can remove all the fields which are not needed. It is not going to have any impact over it. So we are going to do save and close. Okay, so it is mapped now. We'll go to data lake object again, and same we are going to do for customer. The exact same mapping we are going to create for customers as well. Select object. Okay, it's here. So we are going to select contact point address, contact point email, contact point phone, and individual. What we're trying to do here is collect data from both of these different objects and put it in a common object to get the unified view or a common profile, okay? Now here also it has already mapped a couple of fields. I really don't like this part, but anyways, so let's see the fields that we need. First name is mapped with first name, which is fine. Last name is mapped with last name, good. Email, need to be mapped with contact point email address. Here it is. And do we have phone here? Yes. Phone needs to be mapped with telephone number. Okay. Now it's time to match the IDs. Okay. So we'll be mapping record IDs here. So this will go with this primary key, contact point address primary key, contact point email primary key, and contact point phone primary key. Okay. And individual primary key as well. So we'll map it with individual ID. And we need to map it with party as well, the same we did for the contact object. So record ID mapped with party here, this one, and this one as well. Okay. Now let's see the mapping ones. Okay, it looks good to me. For this as well, if you're trying it out, this example with me, or if you're planning to try it out later, you can skip all the additional mappings here. Okay, I'll do save and close. Okay, it's done. Let's go to data lake object again. Now we'll do the mapping for vehicle booking. So this is going to be pretty simple and straightforward. So for vehicle booking, as this is a custom object, and in Salesforce, we do not have a standard entity with which we can map this vehicle booking. So what we are going to do is we are going to click select object. And then there's an option to create a new custom object, because in some cases, the data that you're importing from different sources may not be able to have proper mapping with the standard objects that we are having in Salesforce. So in these kind of scenarios, what you can do is you can simply map it with a new custom object that you have created in the environment, or in data lake object itself, you can create a new object, and that object can be mapped directly with this. Okay. So what you can do is you can simply go to custom data model object, new custom data model object, which will be automatically creating all the fields. So here are the fields you can see here. I'll hit next. And then it is going to map all the fields retrieved from vehicle booking to this new data model object. As you can see here, all the fields are mapped already. Pretty straightforward thing to do. Okay, now this is also mapped. Now, as we have mapped it with objects, we can simply go in data model here. And you can see the number of records and fields as well in data lake object. So in data model, all these data models are ready now. It is based on the mapping that you have created. As you can see, contact point address, email, phone, individual. This is the default object that I haven't added. This one as well, vehicle booking, and this is the custom object that we have. Now, if you'll see here, you can see the graph, which is going to show you the data modeling between all these objects, right? So now here, if you will notice, the individual object is linked with contact point phone, contact point address, contact point email. But as I showed you in the diagram that I had, so this is the diagram. So as per this, we need to map this vehicle booking data model object as well with the individual data model object. So basically, we need to map this with this, which is not there by default, because the mapping needs to happen. If I talk in Salesforce terms, there need to be a lookup or a master detail field, right, to map these two objects together. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to create cardinality between it. So for that, what we can do is we can simply go to data model, click the vehicle booking data model. Okay, click the relationship tab, create a new relationship here. So what we are going to do here is new relationship. Okay, now this relationship we are creating between the vehicle booking and individual. So to map it, the key between them is going to be the customer ID for us, which is basically a lookup in my Salesforce environment to custom object. Cardinality would be many to one. We can keep the default thing here in data object. Here we can select individual and we can have individual ID. Okay. So we are going to save it now. Hopefully it should not take much time. Okay. I should have done save and close earlier. Okay, so this is done now. Still loading. So this is the usual way, basically, which I personally prefer whenever I want to learn anything new. Until unless you're trying it by yourself, you're not going to learn it. You're not going to make it happen. So make sure it's not about the specific video. Whatever you want to learn, whether it could be LWC, Agentforce, Data Cloud, whatever it is, make sure you're gaining some hands-on experience by trying out these kind of live scenarios, or build your own real-time scenario. Just give it a push to your imagination. Okay, so this is done. Now what I'm going to do is, this looks good to me. Okay, now we'll go to data model again. And if you remember the cardinality that I showed you earlier. Okay, now if you will see, the vehicle object is also connected with the individual object with a one-to-many relationship. One individual may have multiple vehicle booking. So that's how you can change the data modeling here by adding cardinality and linking the objects. Okay. Now let me show you the data, how it is going to look in Salesforce. So for that, what you can do is there's a data explorer. Okay, in Data Explorer, you can select the object from which you want to view the data. So in our case, it is going to be data model object. And here we are going to select individual. So you're able to see the individual data here, right? It is all the records from the customer object, from rights of rentals, and contact object from Go Adventure. Now let's say if I'm searching for a specific record, if I'll do add filter by last name. Okay, so here you can see I have two records with the same name and email. So email is going to be the unique key in between them. So we have John Peter as a customer, which is the rights of rental customer, and we have John Peter as a contact as well, which is basically Go Adventures customer. Now to get the unique combined view, what we need to do is we need to create a unified profile for this customer. We need to create a common profile for this customer. And that brings us to the next topic in the deck, the next definition, which I would like to tell you about identity resolution and how it is going to work. Okay. So identity resolution, basically, it's a process of accurately identifying and linking records that refer to the same entity. For example, I just showed you John Peter, which is basically referring to the same entity, but is kind of a duplicate record. If these two records are going to be in a common object, it will be considered as a duplicate record. The key points here are for identity resolution. It uses technique like matching algorithm like fuzzy logic and exact logic. Resolve differences in name, address, email, or IDs. It helps you to build a unified profile. And it is critical for personalization, actually, fraud detection, and data quality as well. Example use case I showed you already in that screen with John Peter. So that's how identity resolution works. So let's take this example where the data is coming from Salesforce, Amazon S3, and Google Drive in a common data lake object. We are creating a data model and mapping all these data. Now, in all these different servers, there can be some users which would be common in all of them, which may be taking same services from Salesforce server, Amazon server, and Google server as well. So identity resolution is going to identify them based on the parameters that we are going to set, and is going to create a unified profile. So moving on to unified profile, it is basically a comprehensive 360-degree view of an entity. In our case, it is going to be a customer. It can be a product as well or asset. It is created by integrating data from multiple sources into single, consistent, and enriched record within the data cloud. So that's what we are going to do in this demo going further. But I'll move to the Go Adventure environment again. And here we'll go in identity resolution. Okay, I'll create a new record here. We'll create a new rule set. Default data source is fine. Primary data model object. We'll select individual. Rule set ID. It is going to be 4-character maximum API name. CCID I have seen in Salesforce demos as well. I'll use the same. Nothing to do with the specific ID. It is just the ID, okay? Okay, now here we are going to give the rule set name, guest name and email, or customer name and email. Okay. We don't want to run it automatically, so we'll uncheck it. Rest of the configuration looks fine to me. I'll save it. Whenever creating a metadata, you can make sure to have some proper description around it, because an Agentforce description is going to be the way for agents to identify what to do, or why this is being used. What is the purpose of having this? Okay, let it be saved. It is saved now. Now we'll do configure from here. Hit next. This is match tool 1. We'll configure this one. We'll select fuzzy name and normalized email. Okay, first name, last name, exact match, first name, fuzzy match, which is fine. Contact point email address, which is perfect for our scenario, because we are using contact point email or email address as a unique field to identify. Now hit next, and you can save it here. Okay, now we'll do run rule set. Okay, as you can see, it is published from here and in progress as well. And here also you'll be able to see it in progress. And here it is going to show you how many matches it is having, how many profile it has been created, and all these information. Okay, so once it is done, I'm going to show you how it is going to work in Data Explorer, how it is going to help you to get the unified data. Okay, so it took its own sweet time, but it's done finally. Here you can see it was able to find two matched sources, and it has merged it in a unified profile. I am going to show you how this unified profile is going to look. So it is moreover like you're doing deduplication in your Salesforce environment. You're finding duplicate records and merging them. So it is a similar kind of stuff what we are having in Salesforce, matching rules, duplicate rules. Now I'll select data model objects. So earlier, if you remember, there were two John Peter records. Now here, instead of selecting the individual object, I am going to select unified individual CCID. Okay. Now the data is still coming from individual, but this is the unification from that object. So if I'm going to search for the same thing, hit done, apply, and there is only one record for this specific user, which is John Peter. In view, you should be able to see the ID of it. That's it. That is the only detail. If you want, you can add more details, for example, like related list and etc. here, which is not needed right now. Okay. So that was an example of how you can do unification using the identity resolution in Data Cloud. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to see how we can use this data in Data Cloud, right? We have created unified profiles. We have retrieved data from different environments, but we have to use it somewhere to get proper insights from data, correct? So what we are going to do is I'll show you how we are going to use this data as a related list, here, okay? So in this environment right now, there's a relation between contact and the adventure booking object. So if I'm going to open any of the contact, let's try the same John Peter. Where are you, John? Oh, there are so many Johns here. Let me search. Here is our John Bond. Nice. Okay, so here you are able to see the adventure booking is here already, which is having a record right now, which you may not be able to see because of the picture, because of my video. Anyways, but let me do view all. There's the adventure booking record because John is having one adventure booking as well. John has done mountain biking, but John has also booked a vehicle from the rights of rental. So we need to make sure that record is also being displayed here. So what you can do is you can simply go to the contact object configurations. Okay, and here you can see the data cloud related list option. You can click on data cloud related list. Simply create a new related list here. Which object we want here is vehicle booking. Okay. Child relationship name, let's say vehicle bookings. Okay, related list label also. We'll do vehicle bookings. Okay, we'll hit next. Okay, so the related list, we have created it here. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to add it in the layout as well. So we'll go here. We have opened the record. Now we will do edit page. I think we need to convert it to a dynamic form first, maybe. Okay, no, there's no need. So what we can do is we can search for dynamic related list single here. I'll put it here. Okay. Now, related list will select vehicle booking. Okay, and we are going to show more fields here. Let's display vehicle name, vehicle number, vehicle type. How about amount, start date, and let's have end date as well. Okay, so we have added all these fields here. It is going to show you the data accordingly. Now we need to make sure that we are adding a filter here as well. If we are not going to add a filter, it is not going to show you the complete data. So if you will not add filter, the related list may come empty because we have categorized the booking as engagement type of object in Data Cloud. And by default, this type of objects will show data for last 7 days only. If you have any historical data, it is not going to show you that. So we'll just add a basic filter, like very generic thing, which you know is always going to be there. In my case, it could be start date. So we'll do start date not equals to blank. That is my filter. And I'll save it and activate it. Okay, it is saved now. And here you go. So John has booked 2 vehicles so far. One is both are 4-wheeler actually. These are details related to that vehicle. Amount, please ignore the numbers. Maybe I have messed up while creating the amount field. So now this data is coming from a different environment, which is linked with this GoAdventure environment's individual object based on the customer ID retrieved from the rights of rental. So that's how these things are going to be in Data Cloud. You will be connecting different data sources to get a 360-degree view of your customer in your Data Cloud environment. Okay, so that's how you can use related list. Now, let me tell you how you can actually get some benefit from that data, how you can get some actual numbers from that data using the calculated insights. We can create some measures like lifetime value and lifetime revenue from a profile, from a specific profile, and in total how many booking that profile has done, because those are the numbers using which you will be able to have some predictions about your business, right? So for that, what you can do is you can simply go to calculated insights, hit new. We'll create calculated insight with builder. Okay, here we will select vehicle booking. Here it is. Hit next. And we'll create join here. Okay, now here we are going to select the unified individual. Unified individual CCID, that is the one. Now the join is going to create automatically links between reservation and unified profiles as well. Okay. So that's how it is going to be. So if you'll see the first join, okay, wait. Let me hit apply here first. Okay, now if you'll see the first join, the data is booking an individual where customer is linked with individual ID. In the second join, okay, I think I have to click on apply again. Individual ID is linked with individual ID. And this third join, let me hit apply already, where the unified individual ID is mapped. So that's how it has created these joins here automatically. Now, what you have to do is you need to create the measures that you need for your business. So in this scenario, we are going to have the lifetime reservation measure and lifetime value as well. Okay. So what we are going to do is, okay, let me do apply one last time. Okay, we are going to click on aggregate and add measures here. So we'll select count based on the vehicle booking ID to get the number how many vehicles a user has booked so far. Metric name, let's say lifetime bookings. Okay. We will hit apply. Then we'll create lifetime revenue or value of the customer. So here in the aggregate functions, I'll create sum of amount. I have added name lifetime value. Okay. Now these has been added here. Now we need to create the dimensions as well. So for this, I'll click here. We'll search for the unified individual ID. This one with the source unified individual ID. Okay. Then hit next. The dimension name, we can have it, let's say, unified ID. Okay. Hit apply, and then we'll do save and run. Inside name, we can have spend profile by customer. Click next. Let's not schedule it and manually trigger it. Okay, it is saved now. This is the expression that we have created from that builder. Okay, now we need to publish it. So we can click on publish now. Okay, you can see the last run was successful here. So now what you can do is how you can actually get some useful insights based on this calculated insight. You can simply go to Data Explorer. Let me refresh it once. Select the calculated insight, and then your insight will be available there. So there's the insight of spend profile by customer, where you can see we are having fields lifetime bookings and lifetime value. Now let's see if we are having other columns. Okay, we don't have columns. But again, this is also connected with your unified ID. That means it is also connected with your contact record, with your individual record. All these data model objects are connected. So what you can do is you can use this data to display the result in your record level as well by creating copy fields. Okay. Unfortunately, that won't be part of this video because it is impossible to cover everything in one video because we don't have much time. It is going to be a crash course. And if you'll see, there are other tabs as well, which we are not going to cover. You can explore it by yourself, or I will be uploading some other videos on the same playlist, which may be having some information about these other tabs. So the agenda of this crash course was to give you some hands-on experience with a real-world scenario, and I believe that you do have now. So moving on to the giveaway part of it. So before that, I would like to thanks everyone for watching this video till the end. And I hope you have learned something new with this video. So now giveaway detail will be available. There will be a form that you need to fill. There will be a limited number of giveaways. So the form and rules you will be able to find on the description of this video. And yeah, you just need to follow the steps in the description of the video to be eligible for the giveaway. Okay. So that it is for today, guys. If you like today's video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Do share it with your friends as well. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you very much for watching.